Welcome back to the official podcast home of the Association for Materials Protection and Performance. I'm Ben Dubose, news editor with the AMP Publications team. AMP, of course, is the shorthand acronym for the association. And as far as the publications, we've got three distinct brands and outlets. That's Coatings Pro Magazine, Materials Performance Magazine, and Corrosion Journal. All are housed within our publications group. As far as AMP, the big story for us is that we recently wrapped up the 2026 AMP Annual Conference and Expo. Held in late March in Houston, it was a record-setting show with more than 6,300 attendees and over 350 exhibitors, including 72 exhibitors that were brand new and also 13 new sponsors. Houston is home to one of AMP's global headquarters, so we were absolutely thrilled to be able to welcome so many people to our backyard. And then as far as AMP Publications, one of the brand new offerings for us at this year's conference was our AMP Media Studio. It was basically a recording studio inside the larger AMP booth at the exhibit hall. And so what we did there, we brought in and interviewed a handful of leaders within both the association as well as the broader industries and markets that we serve. Topics of discussion included highlights of the show, industry trends, feedback from the market, as well as a few random things that are unique to each person's background. So throughout the spring, what we're doing here on this channel is playing back those one-on-one exclusive interviews that we taped from the show. We may also use some of those quotes in future articles within our print publications or on the websites, so please stay tuned for that. But the first step is publishing the interviews and letting you all take a listen, and so that's what we're doing right now. Let's roll the tape. Ben Dubose, news editor, AMP Media. Her name is Mersedeh Akhoondan. Rather than me read off your bio, why don't we start by having you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about both your role with MP as well as just, your background within the corrosion control industry.
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you, Ben, for inviting me, and thank you to our listeners for listening to this podcast. I'm very honored to be here. My name is Mersedeh Akhoondan. I've been coming to NACE conferences, AMP conferences since 2006 as a student member. So it's always an exciting time for me to be here, and very thrilled to be here at the AMP conference this year, 2026 in Houston. So my current role, as Ben mentioned, I am the MP technical editor for Material Performance, and my industry role is I'm a senior corrosion with HDR engineering. I'm a professional engineer licensed in multiple states, as well as licensed AMP CP4 cathodic protection. So that background gives me the opportunity to see the corrosion issues in multiple industry, and would like to apply that knowledge when it comes to the material performance journal technical papers to make them more practical and useful for the industry. But thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll get to MP in a few minutes, but I want to start with the show. And you mentioned you've got extensive history beyond just your year and a half with MP. You've been coming to AMP shows and before that, the legacy associations for some time. And so one thing I've been asking almost everyone when they come by the booth is what's unique about this year's show, 2026 in Houston. So as you've walked around the conference, the exhibit hall, what stood out to you? What are some of the new things that you've seen? What, if anything, has surprised you? Just tell us a little bit about what's distinctive about this year's conference.
It's always very exciting to walk around and see colleagues and new vendors, and it's just that energetic vibe that you get as you walk in exhibition hall, as well as very informative technical sessions and committee meetings that are happening right now. So I'm always thrilled to be at AMP conferences. But this year, there are a few things that I'm personally very thrilled about. And one of them is the strong presence of municipal water and wastewater utility professionals that are attending this year. Because of my involvement with AWWA, I usually see these professionals from water and wastewater utilities attending the ACE AWWA conference as opposed to AMP. But thanks to strong collaboration between the AMP and the AWW team, we have these utilities now sending their professionals to attend this conference to learn, connect, and contribute. So I'm personally very thrilled. As I was walking by to this booth to talk to you, actually, I ran into two of the old colleagues, one from Irvine Ranch district in California, and the other one San Diego County Water Authorities. So it was great to see them. And also this morning, I was attending an excellent technical committee, particularly focused on municipal water and wastewater. I believe the number is TC04. So anybody that's interested, that would be a wonderful opportunity for that kind of a networking. That was my primary interesting item, but there are a few other things that I'm pretty excited about as well. The amount of robotic and AI driven product that I see nowadays in exhibition hall being offered to me is such a big leap in technology that I have seen from past years. It is just so impressive to me to see that. And I'm very excited to see how these tools will transform how we collect the data and monitor and resolve our corrosion issues. And finally, I would say that one of the other things as being a mom of two young kids is that some of the booths actually have goodies for next generation and younger kids. One of the examples that I saw is like one of the booths had actually a coloring book for the kids that teaches them about corrosion, surface prep, coatings. And it was pretty clever. They showed corrosion as a monster villain that's trying to destroy things. So that was very exciting. I grabbed one for my kids. So very, very fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think a common theme throughout this conference is workforce development. If you look outside the booth, you can see Talent Force, the new initiative from AMP, on full display inside the AMP booth at the exhibit hall. And in terms of, worker retention, recruitment, you can never start too young. And so I think it's great to see that type of innovation and creative thinking.
Right.
Let's talk about MP specifically.
Sure.
What's changed about the magazine? What are we doing well? And what can we do better?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about the progress we are making with the Material Performance Journal. We had many strong submissions for this year alone. And again, our focus would be about the practical industry-related content. So maybe I take this opportunity to, again, talk to our audience and ask them that if you have any specific ideas, any unique issues across the industries that they're dealing with, we would like to hear about them. We want other readers of MP to know about them. And to those seasoned experts with many years of experience, if you know the tips and tricks to solve a specific real-world corrosion challenge, we would love to feature that in our inside portion of the magazine. And there's a special category called Forgotten Phenomenon that those deep practical solutions can shine, and it would be great to feature them. So even if you haven't written a paper, as long as you can provide the discussion and the content and the unique subject, we would be happy to help you to shape that into a paper. So please feel free to reach out to me or Rebecca to get us introduced, and we can help you write a paper so other people can enjoy and we can advance that knowledge.
So at the start of the week, we had our annual MP editorial board meeting, and it's not the only time that we talk to the board. Obviously, we have calls, we have emails, but it is different when you can get everybody in the same room and sit across from each other and talk about, strategies for the magazine, what we're doing well, what's not going so well, what we can do better, and so on and so forth. What stood out to you from that meeting at the start of this week's conference in terms of, I know we don't want to give away the farm in terms of what's coming up, what we discuss, but just, high level, what did you come out of that meeting thinking?
Sure. So during that meeting, we talk about what we achieved in the last year. We had some goals that we set up in the last committee meeting, and we went over them and see which ones we could reach. One of the items that was very fascinating and we are trying to continue and expanding on is adding the visual aids and possibly videos that are related to the technical papers that are being published in MP Journal. I think now we are in a digital world, and it would be absolutely amazing that for the people to read the technical article, and also have that opportunity to have a visualize. So thank you. We were able to feature some videos of some of the technical papers that is coming up in our innovation issue.
Yeah, and I'll point out, since you were nice enough to mention it, go to the MP YouTube channel. We've also got YouTube pages for each of our other publications within AMP as well, Coatings Pro and of course Corrosion Journal. But YouTube's only going to grow in importance in the years ahead. So there's things we can do to link videos to the technical articles and the content you see in the magazine, but it's also a way that we can expand our reach because we know all around the world, YouTube is so accessible. So in terms of expanding the magazine's reach beyond just current AMP members and the legacy base, if you will, I think YouTube's only going to be more important. Under your tenure as a technical editor, we've leaned into that more, and that's something that I would anticipate only doing more of in the months and years ahead.
Yes. And another item from that meeting that came up, and I want to mention to our readers that paying careful attention for the new addition to the MP Journal. As you might have seen, we added a new page to each issue that lists all the industry standards that have been called out in the technical paper in that issue. So, and we were discussing that how helpful this list could be to our reviewers. And we discussed that for the younger professionals that are just learning about the topic, having a list of commonly used industry standards. And this goes beyond AMP standard. We are listing ASTM, ISO standard, European standard, many other standards. It's just I feel that would be very helpful for the younger professionals as they're learning about the topic. And for more seasoned old timers that have been around for a long time, sometimes you forget about the new updates and new revision that have been performed on that standards that from 20 years ago, and they significantly changed. So we do list the date of the latest revision. So I would like to take that opportunity and invite people to provide us feedback so we know if this is useful to our readers. Another plan that we're going to have is that there are some topics that we do not have a lot of current industry standard or guides. So collaborating with the Corrosion Journal staff of AMP, we are planning to provide some open access to certain articles from Corrosion Journal that provide additional research results and findings about those topics that are not currently very well fitted in the standard. So I would think that this is a great opportunity for both academic and industrial readers to take a look at this and benefit from it.
Yeah, and I'll point out that the meeting that we're referencing beyond the boards, it also features editorial staff from MP, but also Corrosion Journal and Coatings Pro as well. So there is an opportunity to integrate here because we have these three great brands under the AMP publications umbrella, if you will. And so it's just a great, knowledge sharing and brainstorming environment where we can figure out how, we can all sort of help each other and by extension help the industry by providing the best content that we can.
Exactly.
Mersedeh, thank you so much for the time. I'm guessing the easiest way for someone, if they want to get in touch with you, to do so would be by email, right?
Yes. My first name, Mersedeh, my last name, my last name, Akhoondan, at amp.org, or you can contact Rebecca. If you go to our website, MP Journal, I just want to invite readers, if you have feedback and want to reach out to us, you can find Rebecca Bickham email address on the MP Journal website. She's the technical
she's the editor-in-chief.
She's the editor-in-chief of...
You are the technical editor.
I'm a Yes, she's the editor-in-chief of MP Journal. Yes.
It's been a long week, but a good week. She's Mersedeh. I'm Ben. Thanks as always to you guys and girls for listening. Mersedeh, thank you so much for coming by.
Well, thank you for having me. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful day and enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you.
All right, that will do it for this interview from the 2026 AMP Annual Conference and Expo. But please stay tuned throughout the spring because we've got quite a few of these that are debuting on our AMP and Coatings Pro Magazine podcast channels. We've already posted quite a few as well, so check out the archives if you haven't been listening over the past few weeks. Our hope is that the information and insights from these conversations will ultimately benefit our readers, association members, and the industry as a whole. And beyond the podcast channels, don't forget to check out our print publications, our social media pages, and our websites for Coatings Pro Magazine, Materials Performance Magazine, and Corrosion Journal. All of those brands are housed within our AMP Publications family, and we'll have lots of great exclusive content from the show coming out in the days and weeks ahead. Just stick with us and we'll have more to come. Anyway, that will do it for today. On behalf of our entire editorial team, I'm Ben Dubose, news editor for the AMP Publications Group. We appreciate you so much for checking out this interview, and please come back soon for more exclusive coverage of the 2026 AMP Annual Conference and Expo.